Hi.
Hey, how are you? All right?
Good.
Good, fabulous. What have you been up to? How's things?
Been pretty good.
Yeah.
Just trying to find an apartment to move into. Hi, Katie.
Ah, hey, Katie. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
You're looking extra lovely tonight. I don't know what it is. Curly hair, maybe? Not sure.
Maybe. Hi, Michael.
Hey, hey. So tell me about the apartment, Kim.
Oh, I don't have one yet. I'm still searching. That's partly the issue.
Yeah. So what are you looking for? What's on your hit list?
Somewhere I can work from home.
Okay.
Something of a decent
a balcony
size.
or a hot tub or what's the list?
It's London. Come on.
Okay, London. Okay.
Something that nice people, because I'm gonna have to house share, so it's mainly
Right.
about the people and the area that I'm in, and
Yeah.
whether the room is a decent size and if I can be comfortable there.
Yeah, sounds nice. Yeah. Have you spoken with? I guess you already have all the dancers that live there.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
You ask around and you talk to friends and see if you can find something first. If that doesn't happen, well, start looking online. But
Yeah.
How about you? Have you been up to anything exciting
Oh,
today?
good. So today I've been preparing for tomorrow, which is I've bubbled with a friend. So I went round to her house last weekend, and it was wonderful. We hugged and played games, and hugged and ate food, and hugged and watched TV, and then we hugged. It was lovely. Yeah, it was fab. So I'm hoping to do more of the same tomorrow. So I've made a quite over-ambitious meal plan, which I'm quite regretting now, but we'll see. So I've got like a fridge full of stuff, and yeah, so tomorrow's just going to be spent cooking all that food, I think, and that'll get me through the rest of the week as well, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. How about you, Michael? How's things? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Teaching back to work. So.
Okay. Is it like first week back?
Yeah, like online stuff. So like everyone is lots of technical problems up the wazoo, basically.
Oh goodness.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite good. I'm only here for the first half hour. I've got
okay.
Managed to double book myself. But.
Okay, all right. Well, what's the second? Where are you off to later?
One of my friends, I arranged to go have a Saturday night drinks with him.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
like a fake pub. Have you got like a fake pub in your house so you can spin the camera around?
Basically, this is my pub and my pub and my church all in one.
Fantastic.
And my lesson as well. I had to be playing with like recording videos.
Oh yeah.
String something up. That's where this panda's off from.
I was going to ask about the panda. I wanted to kind of have a natural segue, but I couldn't think of one. Yeah.
What's there a panda?
Yeah. What? So why is there a panda?
I don't know why, but I started adding pandas to the backgrounds of my videos to make the kids more interested.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I'm a primary school teacher, by the way. I teach 7 and 8-year-olds.
It would totally work with me. I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, it did work with you.
Yeah.
Pandas for everyone.
Yeah. It's surprisingly difficult to find something behind you.
It's like cutting your beard in the mirror. It's like, oh no, I'm just
yeah. Basically.
Oh.
More pandas. And then what I do is I kind of string this up as well, and I dangle things off to the bottom of it.
Oh yeah, cool.
Very nice.
And do you have like panda, like Superman, going across the screen?
That's the next step.
Yeah, get an empty toilet roll
evolution
on the panda's back.
Yeah.
Ah, great stuff. Hey, Andrada.
Hello.
It's a very delayed reaction.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ashra, how was the writing course the other day? Em was saying you went on like a creative writing course or something.
Yeah. I have some friends from book club and Em joined, and we just do like a little writing club.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it like guided by a teacher, or is it kind of self-taught, or how does it work?
No, it's just all of us. We get together, and one of us leads. I I did this time. We were talking about dialogue and writing dialogue. So
Okay, that sounds really hard. Like, really
it
hard.
was.
Yeah. Did you find yourself like recording all your phone calls with your friends just to kind of?
That would be great. Yeah, just get some natural dialogue in there, you know. But yeah, no, it's
So what are the
good
top
time.
tips for writing dialogue?
To think about how it would sound actually coming out of someone's mouth, like actually read it out loud. And to go back and revise and talk with someone else because other people hear things that you don't.
Okay.
Is very
That's a good one,
helpful that we found. Yeah.
Were you kind of?
It's very chill.
Yeah. Okay. And after you had that session, have you been like over analyzing all the conversations you've had this week? So, does that make good dialogue? Was that good? Was that good?
A lot of ums in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of ums in real life, isn't there? That you don't tend to see.
There are, yeah. That's the thing, because you want to make it sound how people think that they talk, not how people actually talk.
Yeah.
It doesn't read as well.
Yeah, and there's lots of crosstalk in real life as well, isn't there? Whereas in books, it's like this person, then this person, then this person.
Yeah. Yeah, we were also talking about like setting up scenes around it.
Okay.
And just like, actually one person suggested to write it kind of more like play dialogue, where you're figuring out what's going on and then what you need to convey through the words. Which,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's an interesting perspective to try it from. But yeah, no, it's definitely a tougher topic.
Yeah. On a very slight tangent, did you see the link that I think Zach put on Storytime about the Muppets Great Gatsby?
Oh my goodness.
Read the first few pages. It sounds quite fun.
Yeah. Public domain.
I have a feeling the Cookie Monster was in Sesame Street and not in the Muppets, which makes me a bit sad because I would like to be the Cookie Monster.
Oh, I've seen your mug. Your Cookie Monster mug.
I made cookies today.
Yay! What flavors?
Chocolate and rosemary.
Fantastic. I've never had rosemary in a cookie.
Oh.
It goes well with chocolate.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. There's a bit of a shortage of rosemary in Manchester. I'm not sure what's happening. But
Really? That's an odd thing to have a shortage.
I know. Yeah, I don't know why. So the past 2 weeks I've been to Tesco's trying to get rosemary and they just haven't got any. So I just realised that's very dull. So move on. Somebody else say something.
I mean, when I lived in the West End of Glasgow and we needed rosemary, I would just wander around the streets until I saw someone with a rosemary bush and then just nix them.
That sounds wonderful.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We have some poems, Kim.
I may have found a second poem in the meantime.
Yeah.
I have so many poems.
Yay!
I have a really long one. I feel bad for having too many because I've got a really long one.
That's okay. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I also prepared some extra poems if people would like to read but haven't prepared anything as well. So I have
that's really sweet.
a couple more, and there are of varying lengths. There's a few, there's like 3 like really short ones. So I can send those to whoever. Otherwise, I believe that Mike had 3. Andretta now has 2, and Katie has
Many.
He decides to read. Is there anyone else who's prepared something?
Well, Malcolm's just joined. Hey, Malcolm.
Hi, Malcolm.
That is not to say that I prepared anything.
I do have a couple.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think, how about we start with Michael, because you actually put your hand up first. So I think that's a good place to start.
Is that Michael or?
Oh, sorry.
I don't have any poems. So
Yeah, no, other Michael didn't volunteer, so I did.
Okay. Definitely me then. Okay.
So, hello? Not ready.
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Well, first one is called Travel by Edna St. Vincent Millay, which is just the most beautiful name. It's wonderful. Okay. The railroad track is miles away, and the day is loud with voices speaking. Yet there isn't a train goes by all day, but I hear its whistle shrieking. All night there isn't a train goes by, though the night is still for sleep and dreaming. But I see its cinders red on the sky, and I hear its engine steaming. My heart is warm with the friends I make, and better friends I'll not be knowing. Yet there isn't a train I wouldn't take, no matter where it's going.
It's so sweet.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I've not heard of Edna St. Vincent Millay before. Are they famous?
They are now.
They are now.
This is fame.
Who I was going to say, Andretti, how long is your second one? I know you have one long one. Do you have a shorter one as well? Like, what's your?
Yes, the second one is a little bit shorter. I mean, quite a lot shorter.
I was going to say, how about we do a series of short ones, then we go
It's
into some
only this
longer
big.
ones, and then go into some shorter ones again. How does that sound? So, yep. Do you want to go next then?
Sure. This is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. The roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
Yay! I love that
I
one.
love that poem.
Yeah, it's such a good one.
Katie, did you have the same one prepared? I'm just curious.
No, because I know we've had it before in Storytime, so
Okay.
I try not to run repeats.
I didn't know if you saw Andrea, she was holding the book up as you were reading. So Katie, would you like to go next then?
I would love to. And I am going to start with a poem called Sand Between the Toes by A. Milne. I went down to the shouting sea, taking Christopher down with me, for nurse had given us 6p each, and down we went to the beach. We had sand in the eyes and the ears and the nose, and sand in the hair, and sand between the toes. Whenever a good nor'easter blows, Christopher is certain of sand between the toes. The sea was galloping, grey and white. Christopher clutched his 6p tight. We clambered over the humping sand, and Christopher held my hand. We had sand in the eyes and the ears and the nose, and sand in the hair, and sand between the toes. Whenever a good nor'easter blows, Christopher is certain of sand between the toes. There was a roaring in the sky. The seagulls cried as they blew by. We tried to talk, but had to shout. Nobody else was out. When we got home, we had sand in the hair, in the eyes and the ears and everywhere. Whenever a good nor'easter blows, Christopher is found with sand between the toes.
Nice.
How's it
I
going?
love that.
That's so good,
Oh, that's
Katie.
so great.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yay. Oh.
Do you want to go next? Like, how long is your one? Do you have a shorter or a longer one?
They are both relatively short.
you want to pick one to go next?
All right. Let's start with The Cave by Paul Tran. Someone standing at the mouth had the idea to enter, to go further than light or language should go. As they followed the idea, light and language followed like two wolves panting, hearing themselves panting, a shapeless scent in the damp air. Keep going, the idea said. Someone kept going. Deeper and deeper, they saw others had been there, others had left. Objects that couldn't have found their way there alone. Ochre-stained shells, bird bones, grounded hematite. On the walls, as if stepping into history, someone saw their purpose. Cows, bull, bison, deer, horses, some pregnant, some slaughtered. The wild life seemed wild and alive. Moving when someone moved, casting their shadows on shadows, stretching in every direction. Keep going, the idea said. Go. Someone continued. They followed the idea so far inside that the outside was another idea.
That was fab. Who was that? Who was that wrote that?
Paul Tran.
Okay. Thumbs up from me. Okay,
like
Katie's getting snuggly.
Ooh.
I've got my blanket.
I've got one called The Adventurer that I'd like to share.
Ooh, very on point.
there's a lot of problems about it because I have adventure in the title. I've realised when I was looking today for some extras. So this one's by Mark Turbyville. Gathereth of shells, flower hunter, breather of slight winds. There is much to surprise me. I bring you songs for flutes and odd-shaped leaves and pointed vagaries. These trinkets you may toy and twine into your moods carelessly. But I cannot tell you of what they are made or of where I found them. That's it. It's a short one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, that's so lovely. Yay.
You want to do another one, Mike?
Yeah.
I think we'll just keep going round and round.
Yeah, sure. Do you want the long one? Oh, sorry, the short one or the medium one?
How about we go with the medium one next?
Medium one. All right, fab. Okay. Okay, this is called Adventure, very on trend, by Robert William Service. I'm just going to make the screen go bright because my phone has just decided to go super dark. So here we go. Adventure. Out of the wood my white knight came. His eyes were bright with a bitter flame, as I clung to his stirrup leather. For I was only a dreaming lad, yet oh, what wonderful faith I had. And the song in my heart was never so glad as we took that trail together. Friends and lovers, goodbye, I said. Never once did I turn my head, though wickedly wild the weather, men with the rover's rags and scars, and the rover's bed beneath the stars, but never the shadow of prison bars, as we ranged the world together. Dreary and darkling was the trail, but my knight was clad in gleaming mail, and he plucked from his plume a feather. And oh, how foolishly proud was I. I'll wear it, I told him, till I die. Freemen will be of sea and sky, to the ends of the earth together. Yet now I know by my failing breath, I'm ripe for the last adventure, death. And I've reached the end of my tether. But my knight of the shining mail is there, and his eyes are bright, and he bids me dare. So into the dark let's boldly fare, into the dark together.
Very nice.
So cute.
Got another volunteer. Michael, do you want to, does anyone else have the Jabberwocky in mind as a poem that they wanted to read? Because otherwise I would be very happy for Michael to read that. Do you want to, another couple so you can get ready first, or?
I just asked Michael if he wanted to read it.
Oh, okay.
So clearly there's some great minds thinking alike here.
I was going to say, we can give you another couple of poems to prepare if you prefer, Michael.
Yes, just 2 more because I have to go at past. But that's good fun.
Sorry, Katie, go.
I could do a short one, if you'd like.
Let's do, you doing a short one and we'll go, Andrada, you can do your other one then, and then Michael maybe after that.
So this is a poem called Upon Hearth, which is from Lord of the Rings. Upon the hearth the fire is red. Beneath the roof there is a bed, but not yet weary are our feet. Still round the corner we may meet a sudden tree or standing stone that none have seen but we alone. Tree and flower and leaf and grass, let them pass, let them pass. Hill and water under sky, pass them by, pass them by. Still round the corner there may wait a new road or a secret gate. And though we may pass them by today, tomorrow we may come this way and take the hidden paths that run towards the moon or to the sun. Apple, thorn and nut and sloe, let them go, let them go. Sand and stone and pool and dell, fare you well, fare you well. Home is behind, the world ahead, and there are many paths to tread, through shadows to the edge of night, until the stars are all alight. Then, world behind and home ahead, we'll wander back to home and bed. Mist and twilight, cloud and shade, away shall fade, away shall fade. Fire and lamp, and meat and bread, and then to bed, and then to bed.
Yay.
Excitingly, in the same theme, we have another Tolkien poem by Andrada.
If Michael needs to leave at 5:30, it might be a little bit too long.
Okay, I can do mine now then.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah. Okay. The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave, and all mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome wraiths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jujube bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, calloo, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome wraiths outgrabe.
Very well read.
Yay.
Boop, boop.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Michael.
Mhm.
How long is yours, Andrada? I do want to kind of stay for it. I'm sure I can push it back a minute.
We'll see how quickly I get through it, because it's got many stanzas. Like,
No hurry. If I disappear, then oh my God.
so back to Tolkien. Far over the misty mountains cold. Inspired by a certain picture that was associated with the post. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, We must away, ere break of day, to seek our pale enchanted gold. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep, where dark things sleep in hollow halls beneath the fells. For ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought, and light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword. On silver necklaces they strung the flowering stars, on crowns they hung the dragon fire, on twisted wire they meshed the light of moon and sun. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away, ere break of day, to claim our long-forgotten gold. Goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves, there lay very long, and many a song was sung unheard by men or elves. The pines were roaring on the heights, the wind was moaning in the night, the fire was red, it flaming, spread the trees like torches blazed with light. The bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's ire more fierce than fire laid low their towers and houses frail. The mountain smoked beneath the moon, the dwarves they heard the tramp of doom. They fled the hall to dying fall beneath his feet, beneath the moon. Far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim, we must away, ere break of day, to win our harps and gold from him. The wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest stirred no leaf. There were shadows lay, be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath. The wind came down from mountains cold, and like a tide it roared and rolled. The branches groaned, the forest moaned, and leaves were laid upon the mold. The wind went on from west to east, all movement in the forest ceased. But shrill and harsh across the marsh, its whistling voices were released. The grasses hissed, their tassels bent, the reeds were rattling, on it went. Or a shaken pool under heaven's cool, where racing clouds were torn and rent. It passed the lonely mountain bare and swept above the dragon's lair. There, black and dark, lay boulders stark, and flying smoke was in the air. It left the world and took its flight over the wide seas of the night. The moon set sail upon the gale, and stars were fanned to leaping light. Under the mountain dark and tall, the king has come unto his hall. His foe is dead, the worm of dread, and ever so his foes shall fall. The sword is sharp, the spear is long, the arrow swift, the gate is strong. The heart is bold that looks on gold, the dwarves no more shall suffer wrong. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep where dark things sleep in hollow halls beneath the fells. On silver necklaces they strung the light of stars. On crowns they hung the dragon fire, from twisted wire the melody of harps they rung. The mountain throne once more is freed. Oh, wandering folk, the summons heed, come haste, across the waste. The king of friend and kin has need. Now call we over the mountains cold, come back unto the caverns old. Here at the gates the king awaits, his hands are rich with gems and gold. The king has come unto his hall under the mountain dark and tall. The worm of dread is slain and dead, and ever so our foes shall fall. Farewell we call to hearth and hall. The wind may blow and rain may fall. We must away ere break of day, far over the wood and mountain tall, to Rivendell, where elves yet dwell. In glades beneath the misty fell, through moor and waste we ride in haste, and whither then we cannot tell. With foes ahead, behind us dread. Beneath the sky shall be our bed, until at last our toil be past, our journey done, our errand sped. We must away, we must away, we ride before the break of day.
That was epic, Andrada.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved talking. That was so well read.
I've heard that whole thing before, even though I like sang the song at one of these things.
Yeah.
That's a conglomerate which I've also never seen before, because they mention at various points in various books that they add verses onto it, but I've never seen them all printed out together before. They're like, oh yes, and they sang to the tune of the old song these new verses.
Interesting.
So that's me off, guys.
Bye, Michael.
ya.
Lovely to
Have a
see
good
you.
night.
You too.
Yeah, I first thought about the song and then discovered the song had like 2 verses that were just repeated, and then I kept discovering longer and longer versions, and I'm like, well, let's see the one that he wrote, and somebody actually put all of them together.
Okay.
Cool.
Would you like another short one from me before we go around? I think Ash is next, but I can do a quick one first if you like.
Yeah, sounds great.
Are the boss.
Yeah, this one's an excerpt from a children's book that I love called The Seven Little Postmen. I think it was a golden book.
Oh, that sounds so cute.
I found the poem online. So it's called Seven Little Postmen, and it's by Margaret Wise Brown. The book is. So, 7 little postmen carried the mail through rain and snow and wind and hail. Through snow and rain and the gloom of night, 7 little postmen out of sight. Over land and sea, through air and light, through snow and rain and the gloom of night. Put a stamp on your letter and seal it tight.
Oh, it's so cute. So cute.
Adorable.
7 little postmen.
Literally, the story is just the tracks the progression of mail. So.
I am still here. I'm just kneading my bread.
Ah,
Ash, would you like to do your second one then?
Sure. It's Forest Moon by Don McKay. Forest Moon, June, Williamson, Ontario. The light, though full of motion, neither falls nor pours into the clearing, but as it enters, ebbs back into itself. We float off from the porch, letting its tug entice us to the path. What used to be basswood leaves are silver gloves that beckon, this way, down the abandoned tracks. The old rails who spend their days becoming rust are glimmering with the distance, tracks left by some ardent creatures we have just missed seeing. Fortunately, where can they be pointing? Not to Cornwall, Ontario, not to any place I'd care to put a name to.
oh wow. Love that.
Did that say Cornwall, Ontario?
Yeah, Cornwall, Ontario.
I mean, I know obviously that much of North America is littered with, renamings and everything like that, but I just had never heard of Cornwall, Ontario.
Oh, there's London, Ontario too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All kinds of places. They just reused all the names is basically how that went down.
Yeah. I was traveling in like the States, and I went quite a long trip really. It was from like Boston, which is actually renamed for somewhere in the UK, but anyway, all the way down like the East Coast as far as sort of halfway down North Carolina, and then I went down some of the Blue Ridge Parkway Mountains, and at one point was over in Mississippi, and then I went past a town called Inverness, which is like where I'm from basically, and I got a picture next to the sign. I saw like a Glasgow and some, lots of other places which are relevant to where I've been. So
Yeah, there's an Inverness in British Columbia too.
nice.
Okay.
almost certainly nicer than the original.
Oh.
No, I exaggerate, but yeah, thank you. Well,
That's cool.
I believe Michael wanted to share another one. So do you want to do the other one?
Yep, this is just a short one, this one. Okay, this is A Call to Adventure by John Mark Green. Set fire to all your maps. Forget how it's always been. We're explorers of the heart, learning to dream again. The adventure of a lifetime, with love alone as our guide. Exotic places beyond imagination, ones we've longed for deep inside.
Hmm.
Oh,
So I think Katie, you had more to share.
Oh yeah, I can read poems.
more, Katie, more.
Alright, I'm going to read The Jumblies by Edward Lear.
Yay, that was on my list too.
Would you like to read it instead?
Please go ahead. It was on my list to send to people to read if they wanted to read and didn't have anything.
Comes with a picture, which I'll show you.
oh,
Very cute.
The Jumblies. They went to sea in a sieve, they did. In a sieve they went to sea. In spite of all their friends could say, on a winter's morn, on a stormy day, in a sieve they went to sea. And when the sieve turned round and round, and everyone cried, "You'll all be drowned!" they called aloud, "Our sieve ain't big, but we don't care a button, we don't care a fig. In a sieve we'll go to sea." Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green, and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. They sailed away in a sieve, they did. In a sieve they sailed so fast, with only a beautiful pea-green veil tied with a ribbon by way of a sail to a small tobacco pipe mast. And everyone said, who saw them go, oh, won't they soon be upset, you know, for the sky is dark and the voyage is long, and happen what may, it's extremely wrong in a sieve to sail so fast. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. The water it soon came in, it did. The water it soon came in. So to keep them dry, they wrapped their feet in a pinky paper all folded neat, and they fastened it down with a pin. And they passed the night in a crockery jar, and each of them said, how wise we are, though the sky be dark and the voyage be long, yet we never can think we were rash or wrong, while round in our sieve we spin. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. And all night long they sailed away, and when the sun went down, they whistled and warbled a moony song to the echoing sound of a coppery gong in the shade of the mountains brown. Oh, Timballo, how happy we are when we live in a sieve in a crockery jar, and all night long in the moonlight pale we sail away with a pea-green sail in the shade of the mountains brown. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. They sailed to the western sea, they did, to a land all covered with trees, and they bought an owl, and a useful cart, and a pound of rice, and a cranberry tart, and a hive of silvery bees. And they bought a pig, and some green jackdaws, and a lovely monkey with lollipop paws, and 40 bottles of Ringberry, and no end of Stilton cheese. Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. And in 20 years they all came back, in 20 years or more, and everyone said, how tall they've grown, for they've been to the lakes and the Torrible Zone and the hills of the Chankly Bore. And they drank their health and gave them a feast of dumplings made of beautiful yeast. And everyone said, if we only live, we too will go to sea in a sieve to the lands of the Chankly Bore. Far and Far and few are the lands where the Jumblies live. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve.
Oh, that's wonderful, Katie. Yeah.
That one was recommended by my mum.
Oh, well done, Mum.
Mon-Fri.
Very much enjoyed.
That's fab.
You read all night, Katie.
Yeah.
We'll just settle in.
So I spotted a few themes
I
in.
could continue with some A.A. Milne if you want.
I have another one that would follow on nicely though.
Go for it.
It's about also sailing and random objects.
I love it.
So this one's, I think it's been turned into a song as well, but I'll just read it. It's called Wink and Blink and Nod. Wink and blink and nod one night, sailed off in a wooden shoe. Sailed on a river of crystal light and into a sea of dew. Where are you going and what do you wish? The old moon said to us the three. We had come to fish for the herring fish that lives in the beautiful sea. Nets of silver and gold have we, said Wink and Blink and Nod. The old moon laughed and sang a song, and as they rocked in the wooden shoe, and the wind that sped them all night long ruffled the waves of dew. The little stars that were herring fish that lived in the beautiful sea. Now cast your nets wherever you wish, never a fear are we. So cried the stars to the fishermen three, Wink and Blink and Nod. All night long their nets they threw to the stars in the twinkling foam. Then down from the skies came the wooden shoe, bringing the fishermen home. 'Twas all so pretty a sail it seemed, as if it could not be. Some folks thought 'twas a dream they dreamed, of sailing that beautiful sea. But I shall name you the fishermen three, Wink and Blink and Nod. Wink and Blink and Nod are two little eyes, and Nod is a little, Wink and Blink are two little eyes, and Nod is a little head. And the wooden shoe that sailed the skies is a wee one's trundle bed. So shut your eyes while mother sings of wonderful sights that be. And you shall soon see beautiful things as they rock in the misty sea. Where the old shoe rocked the fishermen three, Wink and Blink and Nod.
Oh, that's so cute as well.
All the cute things.
More cute from Katie.
I mean, Andrada says she has one with a dog.
Did you have another one, Andrada?
I do. I remembered I had one with a dog. It's called Golden Retrievals.
I like it already.
It's written by Mark Doty. Fetch. Balls and sticks capture my attention seconds at a time. Catch? I don't think so. Bunny. Tumbling leaf. A squirrel who's, oh joy, actually scared. Sniff the wind. Then I'm off again. Muck, pond, ditch, residue of any thrillingly dead thing. And you? Either you're sunk in the past, half our walk, thinking of what you never can bring back, or else you're off in some fog concerning tomorrow? Is that what you call it? My work. To unsnare time's warp and woof, retrieving my haze-headed friend. You. This shining bark, Zen Master's bronzy gong calls you here entirely. Now. Bow wow. Bow wow. Bow wow.
Oh, you read that so beautifully.
Thanks.
So cute.
I really like dogs.
Oh.
I would never have guessed.
Katie, do you want to read your next one you prepared now then?
Yes.
I like how all your poetry books have pictures in them, Katie.
Those are important.
Mm.
This one's called Spring Morning. Where am I going? I don't quite know. Down to the stream where the king cups grow, up to the hill where the pine trees blow. Anywhere, anywhere, I don't know. Where am I going? The clouds sail by, little ones, baby ones over the sky. Where am I going? The shadows pass, little ones, baby ones over the grass. If you were a cloud and sailed up there, you'd sail on waters blue as air, and you'd see me here in the field and say, doesn't the sky look green today? Where am I going? The high rooks call. It's awful fun to be born at all. Where am I going? The ringdoves coo. We do have beautiful things to do. If you were a bird and lived on high, you'd lean on the wind when the wind came by. You'd say to the wind when it took you away, that's where I wanted to go today. Where am I going? I don't quite know. What does it matter where people go? Down to the wood where the bluebells grow. Anywhere, anywhere, I don't know.
Oh.
This is a very cute theme.
Aw.
I mean, it's A.A. Milne. They are very cute.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could offload some of them onto Bina, but
Oh.
I'm
yeah.
just going to have to
Yeah.
be Bina.
No.
Oh.
I was
This
also.
one's called The Island. Hmm?
Oh, sorry, I was also just saying I hadn't noticed. Like Katie had PM'd me, and I just hadn't seen the chat. So apologies for that.
That's okay.
Malcolm also mentioned he'd be happy to read one as well. I don't know if he wants to read now, but
Yeah, do you want to go now, Malcolm?
Sure. I really don't have much in the way of poetry booking or anything, but this is the one, Wayne, the book that I think some of you have seen before, but it's LGBT reimaginings of Scottish folklore.
Cool.
And this one is called The Well at World's End. This is the well at the world's end. This is the frog that would not spawn, who lived in the well where the water was drawn, at the world's end. This is the girl whose teardrops fell like pearls to the water, disturbing the well, at the world's end. This is the sieve she could not fill, for her stepmother was so harsh and shrill, at the world's end. This is the clay and moss to clog the holes in the sieve on the word of the frog, at the world's end. Like honey in its honeycomb, this is the water she carried home from the world's end. This is the stepmother making her drink the water the girl carried back from the brink of the world's end. This is the promise made to the frog to chop her in half like a dry fire log at the world's end. This is the axe the girl held high, with hope in her hands and steel in her eye, at the world's end. And where our friend the frog had been, now there stood a powerful queen at the world's end. This is the queen who married the girl, with a crown of gold and a ring of pearl, at the world's end. This one has quite a nice sort of soft pastel-y picture as well of
Very pretty.
the girl at the well.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool, Malcolm. I like that.
Vaguely
Yeah.
lovely.
Carla and Alex, you look so snuggly.
Oh,
So snuggle pieces.
Hi. Ella told me to come say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
He kicked me out of the warm, snuggly bit onto the sofa.
That was cruel.
Carla, you
It was. It was.
It's okay, she's still there. You can go back.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay.
So I don't know how many things have you prepared, Katie? Because I've got a couple more, but I don't know how you want to. If you want to keep reading, or what would you like?
I mean, I have one more AA Milne which I'd bookmarked, and I could potentially read another Tolkien one if people are feeling Tolkien-y. But
do you want to go through that one now then?
If you want to pass more poems to read, I'm happy to read more, but I just don't have any more of my own.
I can send one your way.
I would highly recommend buying AA Milne poetry books, by the way, because they're adorable.
Okay. Well, PM me later.
If I had a ship, I'd sail my ship. I'd sail my ship through eastern seas, down to a beach where the slow waves thunder. The green curls over and the white curls under. Boom, boom, boom on the sunbright sand. Then I'd leave my ship and I'd land and climb the steep white sand and climb to the trees, the 6 dark trees, the coconut trees on the cliff's green crown. Hands and knees to the coconut trees, face to the cliff as the stones patter down. Up, 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 staggering, stumbling, round the corner where the rock is crumbling, round this shoulder, over this boulder, up to the top where the 6 trees stand. And there would I rest and lie, my chin in my hand, and gaze at the dazzle of sand below, and the green waves curling snow, and the grey-blue distant haze, where the sea goes up to the sky. And I'd say to myself, as I looked so lazily down at the sea, there's nobody else in the world, and the world was made for me.
Oh. Is it wall-to-wall cute in AA Milne?
It's absolutely wall-to-wall cute. The next one is about 3 foxes going on an adventure.
Oh.
It also features the one that Bina read about the king that wanted some butter for his bread.
Oh.
Andrada, do you want to go next, or how are you going with that one?
I was about to speak and remembered I was muted. I just got to it.
Okay. It's all right. We can come back to you if you like. I did have one that I wanted to share, which it's a really famous Australian poem, but it's also. Andrada, do you mind muting again? Just I can hear an echo.
One day we will figure out why it echoes so much.
I like that it's a thing, though. It's cool.
Yeah, it's personality.
So the poem that I have, it's also a song, and I don't know if you want the song version or the poem version. That was what I was going to ask.
Yeah, sing it for us.
I can try. You probably know it. It's called Waltzing Matilda.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if everyone knows it. Okay. Once a jolly swag man camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and he waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and he waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swag man and grabbed him with glee. He sang as he stowed that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he stowed his jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up rode the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Where's that jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Where's that jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. You'll never take me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard when you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Yay!
I haven't sung in about, I don't know how long.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to actually sing, to be honest. That's amazing.
Can we have a terminology explanation?
Yeah. Well, I can go by part through the words that are more Australian, if you like.
What's a waltzing Matilda? Is that a thing?
Not really.
Okay.
It's I think he's just singing about a girl he wants to dance with. But like Swagman is just a guy camping out in a swag, which is like a sleeping bag.
Ah, okay.
Billabong, like a lake. A tree.
Okay.
A tree. A billy is like a kettle.
Okay.
Jumbuck is a sheep, basically.
Mm.
What else have we got here? Tucker bag, a bag that you keep your food in.
You put a whole sheep in his bag?
That's what it
Maybe
says.
it's a very large bag or a very small
I
sheep.
assume it took time and he cut it up and stored it gradually. Just a squatter, police, troopers, 3 policemen. I think that's pretty much it.
Am I right that I think Australia recently voted to amend its national anthem or something like that?
There was a vote about having this as the national anthem, but it's about a guy killing a sheep, and they decided against it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was a wise choice.
I mean,
it's a very famous poem, but I'm not sure it's national anthem material.
England's national anthem is really nothing to be proud about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about conquest and slaves and plunder. Scotland's unofficial national anthem is about killing the English, which is slightly more national anthem material, apparently.
Apparently.
At least it's a rousing tune, I'll give them that.
Okay, Andrada, are you ready yet, or do you want some more time?
No, I think I'm good. I was a little bit confused, but I think it's really short, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite short. Annoyingly, it has 2 pages, and it's the platform. I found a copy online, but it was a PDF, kind of a PDF thing, so it was a bit different.
Yeah, no, it's just the 1 page, and it's got like 2 verses, and then there's another poem that says Lucine, which I guess is not part of.
It's not part.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Song Before Adventure by Henry W. Rago. The air is shattered with our breath, the startled mountains toss. Come, there are stars for us to pluck and skies to swing across. This path awaits our wild young feet, the planets gleam aflutter. So much for us to do. What makes the candle splutter?
Yay!
Katie, do you want to do another one?
Here, do you want some Tolkien or some A.A. Milne?
A.A. Milne.
Can they have the fox one?
Of course you can have the fox one. This one's called The Three Foxes, and it has some adorable pictures of foxes.
Oh.
Once upon a time, there were three little foxes who didn't wear stockings and they didn't wear sockses, but they all had handkerchiefs to blow their noses, and they kept their handkerchiefs in cardboard boxes. They lived in the forest in three little houses, and they didn't wear coats and they didn't wear trousies. They ran through the woods on their little bare tootsies and played touch last with a family of mouses. They didn't go shopping in the high street shopses, but caught what they wanted in the woods and copses. They all went fishing and they caught 3 wormses. They went out hunting and they caught 3 wopses. They went to a fair and they all won prizes, 3 plum puddings and 3 mince pieses. They rode on elephants and swang on swingses and hit 3 coconuts at coconut shizes. That's all I know of the 3 little foxes who kept their handkerchiefs in cardboard boxes. They lived in the forest in 3 little houses, but they didn't wear coats and they didn't wear trousies, and they didn't wear stockings and they didn't wear sockses.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's so cute.
So cute. So cute.
Mhm.
Kind of like an
But they
introduction.
never met the hobbitses.
They never met the hobbitses.
Oh.
Mm.
Aw.
Oh, cuddles. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much all I had prepared tonight. I mean, there's a couple more, but they're kind of backup ones. So, yeah. Unless, Katie, would you like to read another Tolkien one? That's up to you.
I think that was a good place to end, but I can do Tolkien in bonus poetry time if Andrada wants.
Andrada, do you?
If you're still okay to read.
Well, I missed poetry time last night, so I'm all full up with poems.
Mm.
I'm just imagining you have like a poem meter, you know, like in the cartoons, how it like rises up the body, and you have to drain the poems up. Should we say goodnight to the catch-up crew then, and end it there, and then
Yeah.
we can hear another one. I'll have a chat as well. So bye, catch-up crew.
Bye, catch-up crew.
Love you.
Lots of hugs for catch-up crew.
Yay.
Right. Bonus key
So-
time. Or
Andrada, would you like the song that Frodo sings in The Prancing Pony, or would you like the story about the troll, or would you like a story about Durin?
Oh man, tough choice. Let's have the troll.
Oh, okay. That one? No, that's about Beren and Luthien. That one's about Gil-galad. There are lots of poems in here.
Or, you know, open it at a random page and see what happens.
I see your
I
game.
found it. Troll sat alone on his seat of stone and munched and mumbled a bare old bone. For many a year he had gnawed it near, for meat was hard to come by. Done by, gum by, in a cave in the hills he dwelt alone, and meat was hard to come by. Up came Tom, with his big boots on. Said he to Troll, "Pray, what is yon? For it looks like the shin of my nuncle Tim, as should be lying in graveyard. Caveyard, paveyard. This many a year has Tim been gone, and I thought he were lying in graveyard." "My lad," said Troll, "this bone I stole, but what be bones that lie in a hole? Thine uncle was dead as a lump of lead, afore I found his shin bone. Tin bone, thin bone? He can spare a share for a poor old Troll, for he don't need his shin bone." Said Tom, "I don't see why the likes of thee, without axing leave, should go making free with the shank or the shin of my father's kin, so hand their old bone over, rover, trover, though dead he be, it belongs to he, so hand the old bone over." "For a couple of pins," said Troll, and grins, "I'd eat thee toe and nor thy shins. A bit of fresh meat will go down sweet, I'd try my teeth on thee now. He now, see now, I'm tired of gnawing old bones and skins, I've a mind to dine on thee now." But just as he thought his dinner was caught, he found his hands had hold of naught. Before he could mind, Tom slipped behind and gave him the boot to larn him. Warn him, darn him. A bump of the boot in the seat, Tom thought, would be the way to larn him. But harder than stone is the flesh and bone of a Troll that sits in the hills alone. As well set your boot to the mountain's root, for the seat of a Troll don't feel it. Feel it? Heal it? Old Troll laughed when he heard Tom groan, and he knew his toes could feel it. Tom's leg is game since home he came, and his bootless foot is lasting lame. But Troll don't care, and he's still there with the bone he boned from its owner. Donor, boner? Troll's old seat is still the same, and the bone he boned from its owner.
That was an impressive read.
Yes, well done.
It's supposed to be a song, and you can feel the song in it.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what tune to sing
That
it
was
to,
amazing.
and I wasn't going to make up a tune on the fly.
Oh.
At some point, I will rehearse one with a tune.
So, I don't know, I'm assuming someone's at some point has written like tunes to all the Tolkien songs.
Tolkien wrote tunes to all the Tolkien songs.
Okay.
There's an
Really?
absolutely beautiful book you can buy which has a lot of the Tolkien songs in, with accompaniments by Donald Swann, who's a fantastic comic pianist from the 1960s. My dad has a copy of it, and it's lovely.
Okay, next question. Why don't we have Tolkien the musical?
What, like a Harry Potter musical, but with Tolkien?
Yeah, because that'd be great.
Yes, I would go see that.
That just reminds me of something I need to watch, because I've still not watched the Harry Potter musical, but I watched the Jafar one like a while back. It was so good, so I actually want to watch the Potter one.
Just with the Potter one, it was the first one they made, so the audio quality is kind of crappy.
Yeah.
But it's still hilarious.
Still worth watching.
I could sing you a song from Tolkien if you'd like. It's very short.
Please?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Gil-galad was an elven king, of him the harpers sadly sing. The last whose realm was fair and free between the mountains and the sea. His sword was long, his lance was keen, his shining helm afar was seen. The countless stars of heaven's field were mirrored in his silver shield. But long ago he rode away, and where he dwelleth none can say. For into darkness fell his star in Mordor where the shadows are.
You're through to judges' houses. Yay.
Thank you.
That's lovely.
If you listen to the radio adaptation of Lord of the Rings by Brian Sibley, which was on the radio when my dad was a little boy, it has sung versions of a lot of the songs in. which is charming.
Oh.
And Bill Nye plays Sam.
Wow.
Which you'd never guess. And Ian Holm plays Frodo. And it has various other people who you will recognise if you listen to a lot of BBC radio drama, which I have done.
Katie, that poem about the troll, could it be sung to the tune of the song The Fox? Also known as The Fox Went Out on the Chilly Night.
I don't know that tune.
Okay.
Would you
I
like
can
to
sing the first verse. The fox went out on a chilly night. He prayed to the moon to give him light, for he'd many a mile to go that night before he reached the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. He had many a mile to go that night before he reached the town, oh. It's that repetition of that bit in the middle which makes me think it might fit. It's not quite the right feel, I think, for the poem, but I think it would fit the rhythm.
I mean, I always imagined it being, and I've lost the poem again, because it's just a book and you have to flick through and try and find them. That's that one.
There's a thing online the other day about, is it Lambic Pentameter or something? I forget the name of it, where there's this famous poem, but then they've realised that the Pokemon theme tune is exactly the same.
Yes, I have. Yes, I've seen that. That's adorable. I always imagine the tune being something like, Troll sat alone on the seat of stone and munched and mumbled a barrel bone. For many a year he gnawed it near, for meat was hard to come by. Done by, gone by, in a cave in the hills he dwelt alone, and meat was hard to come by.
That definitely works.
Yep. Perfect.
I have no idea where that tune came from.
It's something else, isn't it? What's that?
I don't know. If you can tell me, I'd be very grateful.
Do it again. That's the only way I can tell you. But I'm not promising.
You two can work it out.
Yeah. What was that fox one anyway, Alex? What's it? Is it from something?
According to Wikipedia, it's a traditional folk song from the 15th century. The tune that I sang is probably not the traditional one, but I don't know where I'd find that.
Mm.
It's also in a picture book. Anyone likes those?
Mike, do you have any bonus poetry? No? You don't have any favourite poems that you'd like to read?
I did actually prepare something else, but I was depending on how many people turned up and if they wanted to read, because I thought, because I was thinking about the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, but it's huge. And I thought if we did it in a series where everyone read like a verse each, we could read it all together as a group.
Ooh.
But that's just a thought. I don't know if people would be up for it.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a link to it, so I can send the link.
Excellent.
Great stuff. So in other news, while Kim was doing that, I got my first 2 poetry books. Well, my second after the one that Katie sent me. So yeah, Carol and Defeat, big fat one, and Marge Piercy.
Yay!
I was telling Katie that this one breaches my 2-finger rule. I never buy a book that's fatter than 2 fingers usually, but we'll let it off because Carol Ann Duffy's special.
So if we're going to be reading this, we need to pick an order, I guess. So Mike, would you like to start us off then?
Oh goodness, yeah. Hold on, let me.
How about if we go Mike, myself, Katie, Ash, Connor, else reading, or are you? I don't know if they're heard.
So I'd be happy to do one.
Yeah.
And do we do it basically in parts rather than verses?
Yeah.
Yes, I see.
Do we have enough parts?
There's at least 5.
There's 7.
Caroline, I have
7
enough
parts.
poetry for tonight, so we won't be joining in.
Okay. So if we go Mike, myself, Katie, Ash, Andrada, Malcolm, and then repeat, how does that sound? Party?
Okay. So part 1, scroll to the top.
Okay. You're off now.
Oh, good to see you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Who was the last person? And then who's that loops it back into me again? Sorry.
Malcolm.
Malcolm. Cool. Okay. Great. Okay. Part 1. It is an ancient mariner, and he stoppeth one of 3. By thy long grey beard and glittering eye, now wherefore stopp'st thou me? The bridegroom's doors are open wide, and I am next of kin. The guests are met, the feast is set, mayst hear the merry din. He holds him with his skinny hand. There was a ship, quoth he. Hold off, unhand me, grey-beard loon. Eftsoons his hand drop he. He holds them with his glittering eye. The wedding guest stood still, and listens like the 3 years' child. The mariner hath his will. The wedding guest sat on a stone. He cannot choose but hear. And thus spake on the ancient man, the bright-eyed mariner. The ship was cheered, the harbour cleared. Merrily did we drop. Below the kirk, below the hill, below the lighthouse top. The sun came up upon the left. Out of the sea he came. And he shone bright, and on the right went down into the sea. Higher and higher every day, till over the mast at noon. The wedding guest here beat his breast, for he heard the loud bassoon. The bride hath paced into the hall. Red as a rose is she. Nodding their heads before she goes, the merry minstrelsy. Which isn't a real word. Minstrelsy. We'll skip that one. The wedding guest he beat his breast, yet he cannot choose but hear. And thus spake on the ancient man, the bright-eyed mariner. And now the storm blast came, and he was tyrannous and strong. He struck with his o'ertaking wings, and chased us south along. With sloping masts and dipping prow, as who pursued with yell and blow, still treads the shadow of his foe, and forward bends his head. The ship drove fast, loud roared the blast, and southward aye we fled. And now there came both mist and snow, and it grew monstrous cold. And ice mast high came floating by, as green as emerald. And through the drifts the snowy clefts did send a dismal sheen. Nor shapes of men nor beasts were ken, the ice was all between. The ice was here, the ice was there, the ice was all around. It cracked and growled and roared and howled, like noises in the swound. At length did cross an albatross. Through a fog it came. As if it had been a Christian soul, we hailed it in God's name. It ate the food it ne'er did yet eat, and round it flew. The ice did split with a thunder fit, the helmsman steered us through. And a good south wind sprung up behind, the albatross did follow. And every day for food or play came to the mariner's hollow. In mist or cloud, or on mast or shroud, it perched for vespers 9, whiles all the night, through fog smoke white, glimmered the white moonshine. God save the ancient mariner from the fiends that plague thee thus. Why look'st thou so? With my crossbow I shot the albatross.
Thunder rose upon the right, and out of the sea came he. Still hid in mist, and on the left went down into the sea. And the good south wind still blew behind, but no but sweet bird did follow, nor any day for food or play came to the mariner's hollow. And I had done a hellish thing, and it would work them woe. For all averred, I had killed the bird that made the breeze to blow. A wretch, they said, the bird to slay, that made the breeze to blow. Nor dim nor red, like God's own head, the glorious sun upbrist. And then all averred, I had killed the bird that brought the fog and mist. 'Twas right, they said, such birds to slay, that bring the fog and mist. The fair breeze blew, the white foam flew, the furrow followed free. We were the first that ever burst into the silent sea. Down dropped the breeze, the sails dropped down. 'Twas sad as sad could be. And we did speak, only to break the silence of the sea. All in a hot and copper sky, the bloody sun at noon, right up above the master's stead, no bigger than the moon. Day after day, we stuck nor breath nor motion, as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. Water, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water, water everywhere, and nor a drop to drink. The very deep did rot, O Christ, that ever this should be. Yes, slimy things did crawl with legs upon the slimy sea. About, and reel and rout, the death fires danced at night. The water, like a witch's oils, burnt green and blue and white. And some in dreams assured were of the spirit that plagued us so. 9 fathom deep he had followed us from the land of mist and snow. And every tongue, through utter drought, was withered at the root. We could not speak, no more than if we'd been choked with soot. A well a day, what evil looks had I from old and young. Instead of the cross, the albatross around my neck was hung.
There passed a weary time. Each throat was parched and glazed each eye. A weary time, how glazed each weary eye. When looking westward, I beheld a something in the sky. At first, it seemed a little speck, and then it seemed a mist. It moved and took at last a certain shape, I wist. A speck, a mist, a shape, I wist, and still it neared and neared. As if it dodged a water sprite, it plunged and tacked and veered. With throats unslaked, with black lips baked, we could not laugh or wail. Through utter drought, all dumb we stood. I bit my arm, I sucked the blood, and cried, "A sail, a sail!" With throats unslaked, with black lips baked, agape they heard me call. "Gramercy!" they for joy did grin, and all at once their breath drew in, as they were drinking all. "See, see," I cried, "she tacks no more, hither to work us weal. Without a breeze, without a tide, she steadies with upright keel." The western wave was all aflame, the day was well nigh done. Almost upon the western wave rested the broad bright sun, when that strange shape drove suddenly betwixt us and the sun. And straight the sun was flecked with bars. Heaven's mother send us grace. As if through a dungeon gate he peered with broad and burning face. "Alas!" thought I, and my heart beat loud, "how fast she nears and nears. Are those her sails that glance in the sun like restless gossamers? Are those her ribs through which the sun did peer as through a gate? And is that woman all her crew? Is that a death? And are there two? Is death that woman's mate?" Her lips were red, her locks were free, her locks were yellow as gold. Her skin was white as leprosy. The nightmare life in death was she, who thicks man's blood with cold. The naked hulk alongside came, and the twain were casting dice. "The game is done, I've won, quoth she, and whistles thrice. The sun's rim dips, the stars rush out, at one stride comes the dark. With far-heard whisper o'er the sea, off shot the spectre bark. We listened and looked sideways up, fear at my heart as at a cup my lifeblood seemed to sip. The stars were dim, and thick the night. The steersman face by his lamp gleamed white, from the sails the dew did drip, till clomb above the eastern bar the horned moon with one bright star within the nether tip. One after one, by the star-dogged moon, too quick for groan or sigh, each turned his face with a ghastly pang and cursed me with his eye. 4 times 50 living men, and I heard nor sigh nor groan. With heavy thump, a lifeless lump, they dropped down one by one. Their souls did from their bodies fly, they fled to bliss or woe, and every so it passed me by like the whiz of my crossbow.
I fear thee, ancient mariner, I fear thy skinny hand, and thou art long and lank and brown, as is the ribbed sea sand. I fear thee and thy glittering eyes, and thy skinny hand so brown. Fear not, thy wedding guest, this body dropped not down. Alone, alone, all alone, alone on a wide, wide sea, and never a saint took pity on my soul in agony. The many men so beautiful, and they all dead did lie, and 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. I looked upon the rotting sea, and drew my eyes away. I looked upon the rotting deck, and there the dead man lay. I looked to heaven and trying to pray, but oh, ever a prayer had gushed. A wicked whisper came and made my heart as dry as dust. I closed my eyes and kept them closed, and the balls like pulses beat, for the sky and the sea and the sea and the sky lay dead like a load in my weary eye, but the dead were at my feet. The cold sweat melted from their limbs, nor rot nor reek did they. The look with which they looked on me had never passed away. An orphan's curse would drag to hell a spirit from on high, but oh, more horrible than that is the curse in a dead man's eye. 7 days, 7 nights I saw that curse, and yet I could not die. The moving moon went up the sky, and nowhere did abide. Softly she was going up, and a star or two beside. Her beams mocked the sultry main, like April hoarfrost spread. But where the ship's huge shadow lay, the charmed water burnt alway, a still and awful red. Beyond the shadow of the ship, I watched the water snakes. They moved in tracks of shining white, and when they reared, the elfish light fell off in hoary flakes. Within the shadow of the ship, I watched the rich attire. Blue, glossy green, and velvet black, they coiled and swam, and every track was a flash of golden fire. Oh, happy living things, no tongue their beauty might declare. A spring of love gushed from my heart, and I blessed them unaware. Sure, my kind saint took pity on me, I blessed them unaware. And self-same moment I could pray, and from my neck so free, the albatross fell off and sank like lead into the sea.
Oh, sleep, it is a gentle thing, beloved from pole to pole. To Mary Queen the praise be given. She sent the gentle sleep from heaven that slid into my soul. The silly buckets on the deck that had so long remained, I dreamt that they were filled with dew, and when I woke, it rained. My lips were wet, my throat was cold, my garments all were dank. Sure I had drunken in my dreams, and still my body drank. I moved and could not feel my limbs, I was so light. Almost I thought I had died in sleep and was a blessed ghost. And soon I heard a roaring wind. It did not come anear, but with its sound it shook the sails that were so thin and sere. The upper air burst into life, and 100 fire flags sheen. To and fro they were hurried about, and to and fro and in and out the wan stars danced between. And the coming wind did roar more loud, and the sails did sigh like sedge, and the rain poured down from one black cloud. The moon was at its edge. The thick black cloud was cleft, and still the moon was at its side. Like waters shot from some high crag, the lightning fell with never a jag, a river steep and wide. The loud wind never reached the ship, yet now the ship moved on. Beneath the lightning and the moon, the dead men gave a groan. They groaned, they stirred, they all uprose, nor spake nor moved their eyes. It had been strange, even in a dream, to have seen those dead men rise. The helmsman steered, the ship moved on, yet never a breeze up blew. The mariners all gan work the ropes where they were wont to do. They raised their limbs like lifeless tools. We were a ghastly crew. The body of my brother's son stood by me, knee to knee. The body and I pulled at one rope, but he said naught to me. I fear thee, ancient mariner. Be calm, thou wedding guest. 'Twas not those souls that fled in pain which to their corses came again, but a troop of spirits blessed. For when it dawned, they dropped their arms and clustered round the mast. Sweet sounds rose slowly through their mouths and from their bodies passed. Around flew each sweet sound, then darted to the sun. Slowly the sounds came back again, now mixed, now one by one. Sometimes a dropping from the sky I heard the skylark sing. Sometimes all little birds that are, how they seemed to fill the sea and air with their sweet jargoning. And now 'twas like all instruments, now like a lonely flute, and now it's an angel's song that makes the heavens be mute. It ceased. Yet still the sails made on a pleasant noise till noon, a noise like of a hidden brook in the leafy month of June, that to the sleeping woods all night singeth a quiet tune. Till noon we quietly sailed on, yet never a breeze did breathe. Slowly and smoothly went the ship, moved onward from beneath. Under the keel 9 fathom deep from the land of mist and snow the spirit slid, and it was he that made the ship to go. The sails at noon left off their tune, and the ship stood still also. The sun, right up above the mast, had fixed her to the ocean. But in a minute she gan stir, with a short uneasy motion, backwards and forwards half her length with a short uneasy motion. Then like a pawing horse let go, she made a sudden bound. It flung the blood into my head, and I fell down in a swound. How long in that same fit I lay I have not to declare, but ere my living life returned I heard, and in my soul discerned 2 voices in the air. Is it he, quoth one, is this the man? By him who died on cross, with his cruel bow he laid full low the harmless albatross, the spirit who biddeth by himself in the land of mist and snow. He loved the bird that loved the man who shot him with his bow. The other was a softer voice, as soft as honey-dew, quoth he. The man hath penance done, and penance more will do.
But tell me, speak again, thy soft response renewing. What makes that ship drive on so fast? What is the ocean doing? Still as a slave before his lord, the ocean hath no blast. His great bright eye most silently up to the moon is cast. If he may know which way to go, for she guides him smooth or grim. See, brother, see, how graciously she looketh down on him. But why drives on that ship so fast, without or wave or wind? The air is cut away before, and closes from behind. Fly, brother, fly, more high, or we shall be belated. For slow and slow that ship will go, when the mariner's trance is abated. I woke, and we were sailing on, as in a gentle weather. 'Twas night, calm night, the moon was high, the dead men stood together. All stood together on the deck, for a charnel dungeon fitter, all fixed on me their stony eyes, that in the moon did glitter. The pang, the curse, with which they died, had never passed away. I could not draw my eyes from theirs, nor turn them up to pray. and now this spell was snapped once more, I viewed the ocean green, and looked far forth, yet little saw of what else had been seen. Like one that on a lonesome road doth walk in fear and dread, and having once turned round, walks on, and turns no more his head, because he knows a frightful fiend doth close behind him tread. But soon there breathed a wind on me, nor sound nor motion made, its path was not upon the sea, in ripple or in shade. It raised my hair, it fanned my cheek, like a meadow gale of spring. It mingled strangely with my fears, yet it felt like a welcoming. Swiftly, swiftly flew the ship, yet she sailed softly too. Sweetly, sweetly blew the breeze, on me alone it blew. Oh, dream of joy! Is this indeed the lighthouse top I see? Is this the hill? Is this the kirk? Is this mine own count tree? We drifted o'er the harbour bar, and I with sobs did pray, O let me be awake, my God, or let me sleep away. The harbour bay was clear as glass, so smoothly was it strewn, and on the bay the moonlight lay, and the shadow of the moon. The rock shone bright, the kirk no less, that stands above the rock, the moonlight steeped in silentness, the steady weathercock. And the bay was white with silent light, till rising from the same, full many shapes the shadows were, in crimson colours came. A little distance from the prow those crimson shadows were. I turned my eyes upon the deck. O Christ, what saw I there? Each corse lay flat, lifeless and flat, and by the holy rood, a man all light, a seraph man, on every corse there stood. This seraph band, each waved his hand, it was a heavenly sight. They stood as signals to the land, each one a lovely light. This seraph band, each waved his hand, no voice did they impart, no voice, but oh, the silence sank like music on my heart. But soon I heard the dash of oars, I heard the pilot's cheer. My head was turned perforce away, and I saw a boat appear. The pilot and the pilot's boy, I heard them coming fast. Dear Lord in heaven, it was a joy, the dead man could not blast. I saw a third, I heard his voice. It is the hermit good? He singeth loudly his godly hymns that he makes in the wood. He'll shrieve my soul, he'll wash away the albatross's blood.
This hermit good lives in that wood, which slopes down to the sea. How loudly his sweet voice he rears, he loves to talk with mariners that come from a far country. He kneels at morn and noon and eve, he hath a cushion plump. It is the moss that wholly hides the rotten old oak stump. The skiff boat neared, I heard them talk. Why, this is strange, I trow. Where are those lights, so many and fair, that signal made but now? Strange, by my faith, the hermit said, and they answered not our cheer. The planks look warped, and I see those sails, how thin they are and sere. I never saw aught like to them, unless perchance it were brown skeletons of leaves that lag my forest brook along, when the ivy tod is heavy with snow, and the owl that whoops to the wolf below, that eats the she-wolf's young. Dear Lord, it hath a fiendish look, the pilot made reply. I am afeard, push on, said the hermit cheerily. The boat came closer to the ship, but I nor spake nor stirred. The boat came close beneath the ship, a sound was heard. Under the water it rumbled on, still louder and more dread. It reached the ship, it split the bay, the ship went down like lead. Stunned by that loud and dreadful sound, which sky and ocean smote, Like one that hath been 7 days drowned, my body lay afloat. But swift as dreams, myself I found within the pilot's boat. Upon the whirl where sank the ship, the boat spun round and round, and all was still, save that hill was telling of the sound. I moved my lips, the pilot shrieked, and fell down in a fit. The holy hermit raised his eyes, and prayed where he did sit. I took the oars, the pilot's boy, who now doth crazy go, laughed loud and long, and all the while his eyes went to and fro. Ha ha, quoth he, full plain I see, the devil knows how to row. And now all in my own country, I stood on the firm land. The hermit stepped forth from the boat, and he could scarcely stand. Oh, shrieve me, holy man, the hermit crossed his brow. Say quick, quoth he, I bid thee say, what manner of man art thou? Forthwith this frame of mine was wrenched with woeful agony, which forced me to begin my tale, and then it left me free. Since then, at an certain hour, the agony returns. Until my ghastly tale is told, this heart within me burns. I pass like night from land to land. I have strange power of speech. That moment that his face I see, I know the man must hear me. To him my tale I teach. What loud uproar bursts from that door, the wedding guests are there. But in the garden bower the bride and bridesmaids singing are, and hark the little vesper bell, which biddeth me to prayer. O wedding guest, this soul hath been alone on the wide, wide sea. So lonely 'twas that God himself scarce seemed there to be. O sweeter than the marriage feast, 'tis sweeter far to me, to walk together to the kirk with a goodly company. To walk together to the kirk, and all together pray, while each to his great Father bends, old men and babes and loving friends, and youths and maidens gay. Farewell, farewell, but this I tell to thee, thou wedding guest. He prayeth well who loveth well, both man and bird and beast. He prayeth best who loveth best, all things both great and small. For the dear God who loveth us, he made and loveth all. The mariner whose eye is bright, whose beard with age is hoar, is gone, and now the wedding guest turned from the bridegroom's door. He went like that one that hath been stunned, and is of sense forlorn, a sadder and a wiser man. He rose the morrow morn. Yay, well done everyone. Yay.
Boop, boop.
Thank you for starting and ending us, Mike. I didn't realise when we started that it was only going to be 7. I thought there might have been a bit more.
That's right.
So you ended up meeting twice. But
That's right. Yeah. Well, good. Thank you. Yay.
it was really lovely.
Yeah.
What
So where
was-
did you find
what
that
was
one?
with the wood? Like I was like, okay, they're in a boat. Okay, there are corpses and they're coming to life. That's all cool. And then they would started talking about a wood, and I got confused.
I'm trying to figure out where you're.
There were like trees and leaves, and I was like,
I think they
I'm
like
sure he's still in a boat.
I think from what I understood, there was the boat like gave way and they ended up on an island and then they escaped the island.
Oh, an island. That makes more sense.
The hermit lives in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some hermit.
Oh, hey, Valerie.
Oh.
Hey.
On Epic.
That was very cool. I've never, like, there are bits of that I recognize, but I've never read the whole thing.
Neither have I.
Yeah. And it was interesting too, like the rhyming. Because sometimes, like, I know it's supposed to rhyme, but that's not how I would pronounce that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like old hymns where you're like, these don't go together, but we'll make them try and rhyme anyway.
Yeah, and I don't know which way it's supposed to go, like which word has drifted from its previous pronunciation.
And who cares if there's not the same amount of syllables?
Oh, that's a whole other story.
What a lovely idea. Thank you, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Where did you hear of that one?
I heard it a long time ago, and then when I started looking up adventure poetry, because I didn't have enough off the top of my head, so I started Googling to see what I could find, and it kind of came up in with everything else. And I'm like, oh, that would be an interesting one to read, but it's far too long for one person to read.
Yeah, that'll be a task.
I think it's probably the longest we've had, beating
I think it is, definitely.
the Raven.
Mm.
Sorry, Malcolm.
How many stanzas does the Raven
No
have?
problem.
Many.
Is the Tolkien one the Misty Mountains? The
18.
compiled version had 26.
Oh, wow.
This one was definitely more, though.
Yeah.
This is
just
a lot.
yes.
one or two.
Wouldn't be surprised if that was, I don't know, 50 or more. Because, well, it was probably like 10 per person, at least. Like
143.
that is a lot. How did you just Google
Wow.
how many
I'm
Yeah,
stamps?
glad
I
I
just
didn't
Googled
start
that. I
counting those.
didn't count.
I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 100.
I mean, yes, I'm really good at counting.
You like Rain Man. Yeah. I realise that's a dated reference now.
Yeah. How pleasant.
Yeah. So what's the plans for tomorrow, anyone? Fun things happening?
I'm going to continue making my lemur dungarees.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Let's have a look. How are they
They're
doing?
so cute.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
They're not for me, sadly.
Oh,
Hmm.
A little small for you.
oh I see.
Make a pair
Are they
for you
baby
and then you'll
size?
match.
Oh, like an adult and a child version. That'd be so cute.
Oh,
Oh, let me zoom in.
No, it's
Oh,
Oh, that
they're
is
adorable.
so adorable.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet. Super cute.
Gigi, who is it for?
That's so much.
Who are they for?
They are for Nick's small niece or nephew. We don't know which yet.
Ah, okay.
You should get like lemur onesies and give it to their parents.
Yeah.
They would actually wear them. That is mildly tempting.
Do it.
One of my exes once went to a wedding in a lemur onesie.
That's amazing.
I mean,
it
the
depends
of the
on the
wedding
kind of
was
wedding.
dressing up as animals, and the wedding was in a pub.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was a very bold choice.
You must
I
be able to
mean-
buy kangaroo onesies that you can have like kids
Oh,
on the
you've
front
got
of you.
to.
That'd
Yeah.
be amazing.
This has got to be a thing.
Or koalas.
Of course.
Yeah, like the arms holding on to like the strap.
Yeah. We should make rucksacks like that as well. That'd be cute.
That'd be adorable.
I look forward to your range of kids' rucksacks that are like little animals hugging onto you, Mike.
That'd be so lovely. Oh. You can have like a little bum bag as well around your tummy.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Oh, lovely to
because
see
I
you,
was
Katie.
up very early.
Oh, okay. Thank you for all your wonderful poems and all the AA mail. They were just so cute.
Thank you, everyone, for all your wonderful
And
poems.
the songs.
Thank you.
And thanks, Kim, for
It was lovely.
suggesting it and leading everything.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad other people came with stuff because I realised I probably wouldn't have had enough otherwise. And you guys were great.
Oh, lovely to see you, Katie. Night.